Senator, good to see you again. I guess Mr. Clerk now is the proper title here. When did you decide that this is something you wanted to do?
I started thinking about it. The wheels started turning in motion over a year ago when we knew that Chancellor Sharp was going to step down at Texas A&M, and there's rumors and speculation about Glenn Hager, current comptroller, moving on. And so,
Sure.
session starts, you start thinking about it. And obviously, I'm focused on session. I was elected to be a state senator, but you knew this was going to take place. And so, it was a good challenge. I think something that fit my experience well. And so I'd say fairly early on.
Looking at this, obviously you're going to run for this position, but what changes would you like to make in the office? Comptroller Hagar has been there a long time.
Well, and he's done a great job. I mean, one of the things that's exciting about going to the office is it is one of the agencies that, as a legislator, as someone who served on finance for 10 years, served on the legislative budget
Sure.
board, I've worked very close with the office. Take the latest thing that we moved over. We've moved a lot over there. Broadband's over there, opioid settlements over there, and the latest education savings account. And so that's another thing that kind of enticed me with an education background that I have as a school board member. These are vitally important, and I think education freedom for all Texans is going to be great, and I'd look forward to being a part of it.
That's what I wanted to ask you about next here. One of the first big things you're going to have to do is enact the state school voucher program here. You get 12 months to do it, or, whomever's in the seat gets 12 months to do that. But what do you expect that to look like? This is something brand new the state has never done, and this is the largest program of its type in the country.
So I would go back. It's not brand new. I mean, we're not the first ones to go down this road. Several states have done it.
It's
We're going to
new for
learn
Texas,
from them.
sure.
It is. It is absolutely. And it is going to be larger because everything's bigger in Texas, as we know. And so I do think my education background is going to be very helpful. We want to make it, obviously, in the comptroller's office, we want to make it very transparent. We want to be very, very customer friendly. But I think more than anything, what we want to do is provide the resources that the legislature has established to those families that feel like the best opportunity for their child to achieve their dream is through these education savings account. And we have to do it in a short term, really, I mean, within a year's period of time. And so that prompted some of the movement in trying to get things in place as soon as possible. And so I'm excited about it.
Any doubt in your mind Texas can't pull this off in 12 months to get it ready for the next school year?
No doubt. We'll be ready.
Looking back at your time in the Senate, biggest difference you think you've made there over the years? What is it?
And I've been asked that, Jason, on, well, what's your biggest bills? Really, the biggest bills I've ever passed started with my constituents and just listening. And so, the one that people talk about was balance billing, where insurance companies and, healthcare providers were really throwing patients into the middle of a billing dispute and charging them literally millions and millions of dollars. But that started with a man from my church complaining about balance billing. And after 10 years, we sat in our office, and with the legislature, you don't do anything alone in this body. We set the example that the federal government followed. They followed Texas, and it was a bill that we were able to pass. But it was one man that told me he got balance billed and asked me to do something about it. And 10 years later, we set the model for the nation.
There are obviously two other Republicans who say they're going to run for this seat as well. How would you say you're different from them?
I think experience. I'm a small business owner that started, from scratch. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I had to build this company from the ground up. But then, my time on the school board, I think is vitally important. But from a professional and a business standpoint, which is really what it takes in the comptroller's office, I'm the only one that has 10 years writing a budget, working with the comptroller's office, working on various articles, in other words, different parts of the budget, serving on various committees that those funds flow through, and then the legislative budget board, where we set the cap for the state. They determine what the cap is, and of course, after 10 years of trying, and a lot of elected officials trying to pass population inflation as the more conservative, fiscally responsible cap, we did that a couple of sessions ago. So I think I've got a good track record, I think.
Kelly, do you expect a quick special election to fill your Senate seat?
That's totally up to the governor, and I do like the fact that you called me Kelly instead of Senator, because I'm just an average Texan. I Kelly's my favorite title,
But-
other
but
than grandpa.
I bet you have a few more with the family there, but obviously for your constituents or your former constituents, you want them represented if there's a special session. Are you asking the governor to go ahead and do something sooner rather than later, even though it's his decision solely?
Yeah. So Jason, there is, you know, while I am in the comptroller's office, my staff is going to stay there. We're going to continue to monitor. And so we have provisions until that seat's in place. And I've had staff conversations. Whether I'm there or not, we are going to take care of constituents in Senate District 9. I may not, I'm leaving, but I still feel responsible until that position's filled.
Do you plan to endorse anybody for your old seat in the Senate?
I'm focused on the comptroller's race, Jason, and we're going to make sure we win that race.
Kelly, it's good to see you again. Congratulations on the campaign.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Good to see you, Jason. Hope all is well.